All right. Just pop in. All right. Okay. Let's get started with fuel economy. Okay, when doing fuel economy, it's just how efficient is your car? How much gas does it burn? Obviously, the fuel economy on trucks is going to be crappier than it is on cars. They have bigger engines. The weight of the truck is more. So some things to consider would be like, do you do city driving or highway driving? Highway driving, you'll get better fuel mileage. Better fuel economy. I called it fuel mileage. They're pretty much the same thing. Because there's less stopping and starting on the highway. City driving, you burn more fuel because you're stopping at lights, you're stopping for pedestrians. Highway, your engine can just function at one level. So you get better fuel economy when you're highway driving. Will you be the only one driving the vehicle? Like, do you have a partner or kids that'll be driving it? You know, is it going to be a highly used vehicle in your household? Will you be towing anything? As soon as you add more weight to your vehicle, it's going to decrease the fuel economy. Like, so if you're pulling a trailer that has wood in it, you're going to have less fuel economy. It's not going to be great. So anytime you add weight to things, it's going to decrease your fuel economy. And then what features are most important for you in a vehicle? So, those are the things that are super important. If satellite radio is super important and heated seats are not, then those are things that you want to look for. If you're going to be doing a lot of driving, you might want to consider fuel economy when you purchase the vehicle. Okay, 2 formulas for fuel economy, but here's the big thing, is that the units are always liters per 100 kilometer. So liters per 100 kilometer. So that's the key thing. Everything here is measured in 100 kilometer. Sorry, my brightness is blowing out here. All right, so it's 2 different ways. I think the only one on your formula sheet is this one. But this one is helpful. But that one's not on the actual formula sheet. We're not doing a provincial exam, so if you were going to write a cheat sheet, that's what you'd be using. Okay, so we'll blow through the couple examples and then we're good. A car requires 52 liters of gas to fill the tank. The cost of the gasoline, if you ever notice that at a gas station, it's given in cents. Like there's no decimal place. We always kind of put the decimal place there, but it's really 134.5 cents. So just keep that in mind. So 52 liters times by 1.1345 gives me 6,994, but that's in cents. We don't pay for anything in pennies anymore, so I'm going to divide it by 100 to figure out how much money that is. And so that's going to be $69.94. And you can see me writing, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay. I didn't even ask. I just kind of went on with things. So yeah, you can either convert this right away. So you could go 1,345 divided by 100, and it's $1.34.5 per liter in dollars. This is it in cents. So it doesn't matter which one you do, but this is the answer I'm looking for. I don't want the answer in pennies. So yeah, just that conversion, basic stuff. So this is another thing, and the reason why I broke these down into basic examples is these will be the add-ons to the question. Like I will ask you, how much did that trip cost? And so this is how you do it, like in example 1. So in example 2, calculate the distance traveled following odometer readers. So you're going to have your final reading minus your initial reading. And so literally you're just putting that in your calculator. I'm just making sure I write it down correctly. And you don't need the zeros. They're just that on your odometer, it usually has one. It's a placeholder. And if you subtract those, you're going to get 76.9 kilometers. And so again, that would be like not a whole question. That would be like the basic part to a question. Or sorry, that would be like an add-on. Like, so before you do fuel economy, you have to figure out how many kilometers you've traveled. So this would be like a part A of something that you're going to do. It wouldn't be a standalone question. All right. Example 3, a car with a full tank of gas traveled 572 kilometers before stopping at a gas station. The car requires 41.2 liters of gas to fill the tank. Find the fuel economy and the cost of the fuel for the trip. So this is that A-B part. So we're going to do the fuel economy. I'm going to use that first formula because I want to figure out. So fuel economy is liters over kilometers times by 100. So 41.2 over 572 times by 100 is going to give me 7.2 liters per 100 kilometers. Again, that's just the unit of measure for fuel economy. So it's always going to be there. So the second part to this question really has nothing to do with the fuel economy. I don't need this to answer the second part. So if you get stuck on something, you usually can answer one part exclusively without needing this to answer part B. So if the trip costs, or the liters cost 122.9 cents, we know that it took her 41.2. So 41.2 times by, I'm going to divide that by 100 right away. And that's going to be $50.63. So that's in dollars, that's in cents. So I just did the division right away because it made a little bit, it made it, I don't know, I deal in money, like actual dollars. Is that Emma?
Hello.
That is Emma. Hi, Emma.
Hi, how are you?
Good. We are almost finished our examples of fuel economy.
Okay.
So, okay. It's really not long, but pretty easy stuff. I think the most important thing, where's my first page of notes, Emma, is that the units for fuel economy is liters per 100 kilometer. And it always has to be liters per 100 kilometer. So when I did example 3, when I calculated the fuel economy, all the math will give you the 7.2, but then you have to follow it with this unit.
Okay.
Okay, example numero 4. All right, so this example, I'm going to use the other formula, the second one, the liters used formula. So Gina's traveled 350 kilometers in the city and 200 kilometers on highway. So you're going to end up doing them separately. So city was 350, highway 200. And it's asking if she has a fuel economy in the city of this and on the highway of this. So as you can see, in the city, it's going to be a less efficient fuel economy. She's going to burn more liters because she's going to do all that starting and stopping. On the highway, it's only 7.4. All right, so we got to figure out how many liters were used. So the liter equation is the fuel economy times by the kilometers driven divided by 100. So The liters used in the city was 10.5 times by the 350, divide by 100. The liters are, pages getting cut there. 36.75, and that's liters. I don't know if you need to put it, because the whole formula is 4 liters. We'll just be diligent. So this one was 7.4, and they traveled 200 divided by 100. So L is equal to 14.8 liters. So I'm going to take this and add those together for a total of 51.55 liters. And then we got to figure out the cost. So that's just going back to example 2. So I've got 51.55 liters. I'm going to times it by, I'm going to divide that right away by 100. So 1.299. So I'm dealing in dollars. And the cost is going to be $66.96. So you'll have to decide what formula works best when. And obviously you're going to do like example 1 and 2 are like those add-ons, how much it costs for fuel and calculating the difference in odometer rates. So that is that. Any other questions?